All right, this morning we are honored to welcome a speaker whose work exemplifies the heart of compassionate service and whose story speaks to the power of showing up in love, in dignity, and in faith. Sue Graf is the founder and executive director of WINN, What I Need Now, a mobile mission rooted in caring for our unsheltered neighbors. Born and raised right here in the Coulee Region, she is a proud graduate of Crosse Central High School and Viterbo University. For the past 14 years, she's walked alongside those living on the margins, bringing not just needed supplies, but dignity, respect, and genuine connection. Through WINN, Sue visits encampments, alleys, sidewalks, and street corners, not to fix people, but to see people, to affirm their humanity, to remind them they matter. Her mission is built on listening, trust building, and honoring the sacredness of each life she encounters. Sue's efforts have been recognized with the Spirit of St. Francis Distinguished Alumni Award, and she's been named a hometown hero by state leaders. This morning, Sue will share the story of WINN. Let us prepare to receive her wisdom with open hearts, deep curiosity, and a readiness to be changed by what we hear. Please join me in warmly welcoming Sue Graf.
Good morning, and thank you very much for inviting Brian and I to your fellowship this morning. It seems like everything so far has just tied in so well with what we do. I'm Sue Graf, and this is Brian Holliday. We are the founders of the nonprofit WINN, which stands for What I Need Now. We're a mobile mission, like the Reverend said, to serve people, and we are out 7 days a week, most weeks. So the story started at my church. Someone said, can someone make a meal for 15 people at the newly formed Winter Warming Center on West Avenue in Maine? And so I thought, well, I could make a meal for 15 people. So I made a meal and took it there that first night, and I was just shocked to see two former playmates, childhood playmates, and high school friends using the warming center because they were unsheltered. I continued to volunteer and coordinate Tuesday nights at the warming center. We could take 15 people back then, and then we started to get about 20 people coming so they could sit on the steps of the church. Outgrew that place, moved downtown. We could take 30 people downtown, thought we're never going to be full. The problem of homelessness continues to grow. In 2018, I transitioned from working in special education to accept a job at the Franciscan Hospitality House, which was a daytime center for homeless and other marginalized folks to come and do their laundry, take a shower, get good food to eat, connect with social workers. And we treated people with love, dignity, and respect. People felt very welcome there. We served an average of 75 people every day in just 4 hours that we were open. It's amazing how the smallest acts of kindness can impact someone. I had to do a paperwork packet on each guest at the hospitality house. And when it came to the part of emergency contact, someone would say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, if something happens to you, who needs to know? Do you have family? And so often people would say, can I just put you because you're the one that cares about me? We all remember, so that was 2018. In March of 2020, the hospitality house closed along with the other major world event. The city shut down because of COVID. If you were in shelter, you were locked in shelter. If you were outside, you were locked outside of everywhere. The only thing downtown open was Quick Trip, and it was still cold. So Brian worked with me at the hospitality house, We threw some stuff in the trunk of my car because our friends that we had grown to know and love were literally locked out of everywhere. No community meals, no clothing closets. It was a scary time for those trapped in their homes, but it was even scarier for people who were outside. So we threw some hand warmers and bottled water and gloves, and someone called and said, I heard the hospitality house closed. What are you doing now? And I said, well, today we're just helping people. And they sent a little check of $200 made to me. So we continued that. As the weeks went on and didn't seem there was an end in sight to this situation, we continued to look for another building that we could open as a hospitality house, a place for some relief from the folks that were outside. And we just weren't successful at that. We had someone willing to pay for it, but getting a permission to have those people come in was a whole different thing. So in May of 2021, which was about a year later, we formed a 501c3 nonprofit. And and this is the Reader's Digest condensed version. In spring of 2022, the La Crosse Community Foundation and several churches endowed us with a large grant and help, and we were able to buy a long, tall cargo van, quite the upgrade from the 18 Fusion. A young man going for his Eagle Scout Award put flooring and insulation and custom-built shelves for us. So we have the van out here, I don't know which direction I am, but parked out there, and if you'd like to see the inside and kind of what that looks like, we're happy to do that after the service. So our primary goal for WINN is to not be needed. I'm almost 65, Brian's a little behind me. We'd like to not have to do this. But as long as there are people out there to help, we are there. So we operate just out of a van in a storage unit. The storage unit is generously rented to us by Salvation Army for a song. And so we keep our costs low. Everybody's like, where's your office? I'm like, you're looking at it. If you call me and I say I'm in my office, I'm probably in the bathroom at Quick Trip. We do not rely on any government support. We never have even tried to do that. So we would just rely on the financial support of individuals, churches, and a little bit of local grant funding yet. What do we provide? We provide underwear, socks, t-shirts, hoodies, winter jackets, rain ponchos, tents. Since we're experiencing every season the last few weeks, that we also have some shorts, some long underwear, sleeping bags, blankets, hand warmers, bottled water. We do some meals. Your church has generously made meals for us to hand out, the Carmen and the youth. We have flashlights, batteries, baby wipes, eyeglasses, hygiene products. When they come to the van, if they say, what do you got in there? I say, if I don't have it, you don't need it right now. In addition to meeting the immediate needs of the people that we encounter, we build trusting relationships with each individual. We get to know them. Many of the people we serve have experienced either a traumatic event with no support to recover or lived a lifetime of trauma. We are seeing generational homelessness. We've served grandma, now it's adult mom and adult kids. It's become, sadly enough, in our country, a struggle, a way of life for some folks. People we serve are generally age 18 to 80 plus years old. Once in a while, we serve, like this past week, we helped a mom with 2 kids staying in a car. 30% of the people we serve are women. We serve people that have special needs, deaf, in wheelchairs, maybe we're in special education in school, but we also serve people with degrees and master's degrees. A few years ago, we served a retired neurosurgeon from Mayo who was unsheltered. Everybody has a different story. There's not, the only common thing among the thousands of people that I've ever met is that they've had some sort of trauma. Mental illness, drug addiction, homelessness. It's like the chicken and the egg as to what comes first. More often, when we're dealing with people who are struggling with addiction, they were unsheltered before they were addicted. 90% of the people we serve are from the Coulee Region, and I find this out by saying, my name's Sue, I went to Crosse Central, where did you go? Lynn and I graduated together. And almost always, it's Logan, Central, Onalaska, Holman, La Crescent, Caledonia, Bangor. Occasionally someone will say, like Brian, Star Lake, New York. But Brian has lived here for 20 years, so how do you say, it's not true, I'm just trying to say it's not true that people are coming from everywhere because we're giving out socks. People actually think that. You laugh, but I've been accused. In 2023, we served 380 named individuals, and I don't know everybody's name. Last year, 2024, 479, and so far from January 1st to today, March 30th, 301 by name. Not everybody gives me their name. You want me to call you Texas? It's okay. In building relationships with people, we can make referrals to Salvation Army, the Warming Center, housing agencies, jobs. We've referred several young men to the City of La Crosse Park and Rec Department, and one of our referrals is still a rock star employee. It's hard to hold a job when you don't have a place to make a lunch, take a shower, use the restroom. We've made lots of referrals for addiction treatment, and we have many success stories of people that have overcome homelessness, addiction, and gone on to not only be productive members of our society, but community leaders. We collaborate with every local resource we possibly can, and local government, like Sly. I was going to say Sky, but that didn't sound right. We go to where the people are, so we travel with our van. We visit the public library. A lot of our folks hang out there. Local encampments and parks, and when we pull up to an encampment, we park in a legitimate spot on a city street, and Brian blows our signature horn, which we will be happy to share with you if you come out to the van afterwards. That tells the people who are out in the woods that we're there and they should come out and get what they need. We also serve people if we pull into Quick Trip or Walmart, and once in a while if we're on a side street and someone flags us down, we'll pull over. I can't do that on Lang Drive, and so sometimes they wave and then they wave just one finger because I didn't pull over. We forgive easy too. So why are people homeless? Poverty, a lifetime of poverty, generational poverty, lack of life skills, no family support system, eviction, a lack of shelter. Salvation Army can take 67, even though the building was designed for far less. The Warming Center is open until April 30th, and then the 37 people that get their straws drawn to get in there will be outside again. People continue to struggle with homelessness because of either past eviction or possibly conviction. People make mistakes, but they change and they deserve a second chance. So our mission statement, we could have actually taken your covenant and made our mission statement. We didn't, I promise we didn't, but we lovingly care for our unsheltered and marginalized neighbors wherever they may be, and accept individuals as they are without judgment. We feel, reading through your core principles, that WINN exemplifies your core principle that every person has worth and dignity. Someone walking by, someone sitting on the street corner sees someone disheveled, dirty, sad, flying a sign. We see a human being that maybe was never loved and cared for the way that they needed to be. And we look them in the eye, and if they're crabby, having a bad day, we try to say to ourselves, try to understand that this person is either hungry, in pain, tired, lonely, withdrawing, or craving something. They're not having one of their basic needs met, and it makes, we all get crabby before we have our coffee, right? We also try to look deeper into each individual's current situation so we can better understand why they are experiencing this and how we can help them. Homelessness greatly affects a human being's physical and mental health. We see them as suffering people that do what they need or think they need to do to survive. Obviously, we don't condone crime. And I think that the more resources that are available for people, the less you will have crime. And if you give people a place to go, they won't be in places you don't want them. Each person has unique gifts and skills. There are some amazing musicians, some poets, there are teachers, there are everybody we serve was somebody's child, maybe is someone's parent or grandparent. We do not judge people. We have never refused to serve an individual. Sometimes I'll have to say, not at this moment until you can calm down, move away from the van, but we don't refuse service to anybody. We are equitable in how we serve people. Somebody that needs a hoodie, everybody doesn't need a hoodie. If you need a hoodie, you get a hoodie. Homelessness is a humanitarian crisis in our community. Pathways Home Project is working on solutions, but there are no quick fixes because there's a lack of housing. Housing doesn't happen overnight. There's a lack of shelter space. Combined, the Warming Center and Salvation Army helps about 100 people, but there are many more people that need temporary place to go, at least shower and do laundry. We're going to be offering some showers in collaboration with a shower truck and hoping to one day have our own shower truck. Justice. Our neighbors in our community that are experiencing homelessness right now have no place to go to set up a tent that's legitimate. So they set up their tent someplace, and if they leave their tent for something, they come back and it's all their belongings are gone. We just, on the way here, stopped at Quick Trip this morning for coffee and saw a half a dozen of our friends, our unsheltered friends. And the one gal we hadn't seen for a while, I said, where are you staying? And she said, I don't know where to go. Where should I go? I can't set up a tent. I can't have a fire. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of bouncing around. We don't give ideas on where to set up a tent because I don't know where you can, legitimately. We believe every person deserves compassion and understanding, no matter the mistakes they have made. People make mistakes, big ones sometimes, but they change. We have some miracle stories that we've seen in people. So our goal is to help people survive until they can thrive. People can't wait to share good news with us, too. We had a young couple come to the van yesterday that we've been serving for a few months, and they just got an apartment, and we were actually just about to leave, and Brian says, we got to get going, we're late for something, and he goes, I just want to tell you guys, we got housing. So everybody's happy about that. We celebrate a lot of, if somebody will come to the van and tell us that they're 6 months sober, 3 days sober, lots of joys too, because they see us as their friends. We may never see the trees, but we will continue to plant the seeds of kindness and love, dignity and respect, encouragement and compassion. Thank you for listening.